After dropping 2 games in a row, the once mini stranglehold the Broncos had on the number 1 seed is gone. Denver has fallen to 3 in the standings. One of the 2 teams ahead of them currently is the Baltimore Ravens, and we are headed down to Maryland for some Thursday night football, looking to rebound off of a short week and a bad loss against the New York Jets, who are now only a game behind us in the playoff picture. So I think the plan with Prospect Profiles is that we're going to have them during the final 2 episodes of the year. Right now it's just a super busy time right now with the semester ending. The NFL draft is 2 days away, and I'm in the process of moving. So with all of that currently happening, it's kind of hard to be able to work on the draft class, but we're going to have Prospect Profiles for the final 2 episodes of the regular season and eventually get into the playoffs, assuming we make it in, which is more likely than not, but with how competitive the AFC is, it's no guarantee. We're in a 3-way tie for first in the AFC West, and we're only 1 game ahead of the 8th seed in the conference. So if we struggle the rest of the way, and if we lose out, maybe if we only win 1 game, we are no lock for the playoffs. And dropping this game to the Jets certainly did not help our case, as Bo Nix got outplayed by the undrafted rookie Connor Harrell. Jalen Milroe's been out all year with a broken collarbone, although he is expected to return this week, and I imagine he'll get the starting job back, even with Harrell and Drew Aller both playing fairly well when they got opportunities to play. Defensively, we really struggled in this game. Shout out Joseph Manjack, the former Jayhawk, with over 100 yards. The special teams was not good. We allowed a kick return touchdown. And Bo Nix threw 2 interceptions in this game. He's been picked off, I believe, 5 times over the last 3 weeks after no interceptions in the 8-9 games prior to that. And it's not going to get any easier. We've got the Ravens today. We've got the Chiefs next week. So our schedule is about to get really brutal. Baltimore is currently the 2 seed. They are 10-4. They had the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL and currently lead the AFC North. During the second half of the season last year, the Ravens were in the mix for the playoffs, but they were an easy out compared to the other teams there because Lamar Jackson was injured, and he is not injured this year. He is healthy. He is balling. He is amongst the favorites for the MVP. This is going to be a real challenge for us, given that we're banged up. We had another injury last week with Mateo Uiagalelei. Of course, arguably our 2 best offensive skill position players are still out. Marvin Mims likely on the shelf for another week, and Ashton Jeanty is still injured as well. And for a team who has not played all that well over the last couple of games, to rebound, have a short week, go on the road against one of the best teams in the NFL is going to be a major challenge. Now, the Ravens have been kind of streaky this year. They had some losses towards the middle of the year, but for the most part, this is a great football team. They had the highest scoring offense in the NFL, but that's not going to scare us because we've played very well against top scoring offenses. When we played against the Bengals, they were the number 1 scoring offense at the time, and their offense really struggled. Then we played against the Raiders the following week, who then became the number 1 scoring offense, and our starting defense allowed 0 points through 3 quarters before we put the backups in. Now, I will say it's a little bit different with the Ravens for a couple of reasons. For one thing, their offense is so consistent. They haven't scored less than 19 points in a game this year. And the other reason is because they had this guy. Joe Burrow and Jalen Daniels are obviously 2 terrific quarterbacks, but their skill sets are certainly a little bit different than Lamar Jackson. Jackson is the best rushing quarterback in the NFL, and you combine that with being one of the, at worst, 5 best passers in the league, maybe higher, given the season that he's had this year. Obviously, the numbers a season ago are lower because he missed time due to injury, but this year he's been healthy, he's played really well, and it's going to be a real challenge stopping him. We know how dangerous Lamar Jackson can be. I think their skill position rooms are a little bit pedestrian, though. 3-horse backfield with Mitchell, Donaldson, and Moss. 3 very, very different players. Zay Flowers is great, as is Mark Andrews, but otherwise they don't necessarily have many great players in the passing game. Their defense has also changed a lot during this series. They've had a lot of guys to pay, and players like Kyle Hamilton and Nnamdi Madubuike have had to be traded away because they can't afford everyone. I think they've done a good job of adding talent, though, with guys like Nick Scorton in the second round. Ennis Rakestraw, they got at the trade deadline this year from the Lions. So it should be a fun battle on Thursday night, primetime football with just 3 weeks left to go in the regular season. All hands on deck for a playoff spot, and both of these teams know what's up for grabs. The 10-4 Ravens leading the AFC North against the 9-5 Broncos, who lead the AFC South by technicality. It's a 3-way tie with the Chiefs and the Raiders, so we lead it, and if the season ended today, we would win the division, but we are not necessarily in comfortable first place, per se. Bo Nix has to be better. For much of this year, he was in the MVP race, but he's pretty much dropped out of it, falling to 8th with struggles over the last 3 weeks. He has averaged multiple turnovers per game over our last 3 contests as he goes up the middle for Harrison Whaley, fighting for yardage. They will give him the first down on forward progress. Alternate look for both teams as the Broncos go all white and the Ravens go all purple, including their alternate purple helmets as Trevion Henderson loses a yard. Nice play there by the Raven defense to bring him down. As we look at a 3rd down and 11 now from the 30 for the Broncos. Nix will look to throw it, has to get it out quickly, and it's Ryan Williams, the rookie out of Alabama, brings it to the 49 for a gain of around 19 yards. Nix was under a ton of pressure from the interior, got that ball out in a hurry. 2nd and 7, RPO, Henderson keeps it, and he loses 5. Nix Scorton, the second-year pro out of Texas A&M, brings him down, former first-round pick. 3rd and 12, Nix on the curl route, he's got Brazel, hit quickly by the former first-round pick Nate Wiggins, but not before getting the first down. Nice catch by Brazel. 3rd and 4 at the 30 now. Nix up the middle. He's got Brazel again to the 20. I think Brazel has really come along throughout this season. He can win in every area of the field. We trust him in the short game. He can stretch the field. He can be a jump ball guy. He's on 3rd and 8. Nix tries to float it up. It is incomplete. He was throwing it away there for Christian Horn. Nobody got open there. Good defensive stop in the red zone by the Ravens. 36-yard field goal try is good for Will Lutz. Not a bad start to the game for Denver. We had a good opening drive. We used half the clock in the first quarter. But it would have been nice to get more than 3 there. Our team has been good this year in the red zone, but over the last few weeks, we have been worse on both sides of the field. As we take a look at Lamar Jackson, one of, if not the very best quarterback in the NFL, having another fantastic season, one of his best, which says something because he's had a lot of good ones. We're looking at a 3rd and 1 for the 34 play action. Lamar looks to throw it under pressure. Hit as he throws, and it's broken up. Rashad Bateman tries to climb the ladder, but Colin Wright is there with smothering man coverage, and it's a 3 and out for the Ravens to start. Denver back with it from the 41. Nix has Fannin, who's able to turn around, haul it in. Harold Fannin leads the team in catches and yards this year as it's now 3rd and 5. Nix looks to throw it, scrambles with it. He'll go short, and it's only a gain of 3 for Trevion Henderson as Nick Scorton's banged up on the play for the Ravens. That's not good news. 4th and 2 at the 39. Not really field goal range, not really punting range. You know what we're doing. As Henderson breaks a tackle and gets the first. The Ravens had a good rep up front. Trevion Henderson got stuffed up, but he does a great job there, breaking the tackle, keeping the drive going. 2nd and 7, Nix hit as he throws. He's got Savion Williams, breaks a tackle, and gets it to the 6. Bo Nix has been really solid so far. He's been under quite a bit of pressure, but hasn't been sacked yet. He's done a nice job avoiding hits and still being able to make throws under pressure. 2nd and goal, final seconds of the quarter. Fannin breaks the tackle, and he is in. Harold Fannin Jr. with the touchdown. What a start for the Denver Broncos, who lead at 10-0. We are absolutely dominating the time of possession. We've had the ball for 8 minutes and 39 seconds so far. Just the 4th offensive play for the Ravens. It's Flowers who loses 3. Baron Browning brings him down. A dominant 10 minutes for the Broncos, who lead at 10-0. The Ravens have ran 4 offensive plays. They've had the ball for 1 minute and 21 seconds, and they have, I think, 6 total yards of offense. That's pretty bad. 3rd and 13. Lamar Jackson looks to throw it. He has all day. Takes a shot. Wants it all. One-on-one, and it is dropped by Javon McIntyre. Smart decision to not get the interception, because now with a punt, Denver's going to get better field position than they would have otherwise with the turnover. 2nd and 8 at the 35. Nix goes short. Fannin. Whoop! Juke move gets by Hunter Wohler, the former second-round safety out of Wisconsin, as Fannin brings it to the 47-yard line. This secondary has a lot of highly drafted players. They have not looked good so far, as there's a flag. Nix up the middle. He's got Brazel. Breaks a tackle from Rakestraw and brings it near the 20. Unfortunately, I think this one is coming back, though. It'll be a holding against the offense. They will call it on Francis Malinoa, the right tackle. So instead of having it near the red zone, it's now a 3rd and 11 from the 45-yard line. Bo Nix will look to throw it, backs up under pressure, and that one is caught in traffic. Risky throw, but Savion Williams gets it. You can see the body language from the Ravens defense wondering how they didn't make a play on that ball. Bo Nix threw it right over Ennis Rakestraw's head. Whaley now to the outside, breaking tackles, brings it to the 29 for a gain of 13. This was supposed to be a really close competitive game, but it has been unbelievably one-sided. Through the first quarter and a half, it's been Denver domination. Henderson to the outside, gets around 9 or 10. Good tackle by Wiggins to potentially save the touchdown, although I don't know if it's going to matter. Another holding call against the Broncos, their second of the drive, as it's now called on Gus Hartwig. So now it's a 2nd and 20 here for Denver. The first holding call proved to not be a problem, as Nix has an open man in the flats. It's Rivaldo Fairweather with plenty of space, gets the first down to the 3. There was nobody on the right side of the field as Fairweather caught the ball. They did not expect him to run a pass pattern, and the idea of Rivaldo Fairweather at fullback continues to really work. 1st and goal. Henderson gets it, tries to go to the outside, and he is going backwards. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. brings him down. Rakestraw, an expiring contract for the Lions, has not yet been extended by the Ravens. Nix under pressure. He's got Brazel into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Broncos lead it 17-0. 3 scoring drives for the Broncos, 0 first downs for the Ravens so far. Baltimore's got to get something going as C.J. Donaldson is losing yardage. A physical outlier at running back, 250 pounds, but he wasn't able to power by Nick Benito there, as it's now 3rd and 6. The Ravens in danger of another 3 and out as it's play action. Lamar looking to throw it, has a wide open man downfield. It's Mark Andrews who gets 33. Busted coverage from the defense, and the Ravens, who didn't even have 33 offensive yards through the game, get by far their biggest play of the night. Following play with Zay Flowers in motion, Lamar will look to throw it. He goes short for Andrews. Both defenders miss the tackle. Revel tries to catch up, but Andrews is in for a touchdown. A much-needed scoring drive for the Ravens. 2 plays, 70 yards for Mark Andrews. Still some work to be done for Baltimore, but if nothing else, they're back in the game. Denver back with it. Their offense has been terrific so far, nearly 6 points per possession. As Henderson jukes away, breaks a tackle, and there he goes! Down the field! Wiggins tries to catch up, and he does at the 13. 62 yards for Travion Henderson, and Denver's back in the red zone. We had gotten nothing going on the ground prior to that play. Henderson had maybe 12 yards up to that point. I mean, it's only been the passing game for us so far, but we finally get a big run. But we're not done. Juke move. Brazel is in for a second first-half touchdown. Little Brazel dazzle for Chris Brazel. 6 receptions, 2 scores already. And the Broncos have now scored on all 4 possessions, 3 touchdown drives in a row, 24-7. As that one is somehow caught, Rashad Bateman FC, stand up. Although I can't be rooting for him here because he's playing against our team. But that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. A 17-point lead here for Denver in the first half. Ravens trying to get some last-second points. It is a 2-for-1. They do start with the ball in the second half. But Lamar Jackson has to evade the sack. Benito looks to catch him, and he cannot. Lamar Jackson, juke move to the 8. It's a gain of nearly 30, and Denver has to call the timeout. Benito grabbing at what I thought was his hamstring, but it's actually a minor hip injury. You know, the Warriors could use one more depth guard. Nick Benito, I guess, would be a good fit. 1st and goal. That one is caught. What a catch by Rashad Bateman. The body control, the footwork, terrific snag, making it 24-14. So the Ravens offense has started to wake up a little bit, but with how well we've played on offense, they still have some catching up to do, and their defense has got to get a stop here. Nice first down conversion by Tez Johnson to the 41. Under a minute to go in the first half, still with 2 timeouts. Nix rolls out to the right with a flag, floats it up, downfield, it's Henderson! 59 yards to the house for a score. Bo Nix saw it was a single high safety formation, and the one safety was closer to the left side. Unfortunately, his great read and unbelievable pass will not matter. Rasheed Walker is called for a holding. That is unfortunate. That's one of the most impressive plays from start to finish from Bo Nix. The pre-snap adjustment and the throw, and it's all for naught, as Tez Johnson gets 14 yards, so that'll at least make up the yardage from the penalty. We're going to use our second timeout as it's now 3rd and 6. Nix looks to throw it, under pressure, tries to avoid the sack, but he cannot. Sam Williams gets home to bring him down. It felt like the Ravens were due for a sack. They finally get a defensive stop. But with only 17 seconds, I have a hard time thinking they'll get much here on offense as Le'Veon Moss gets around 3. They have 2 timeouts. They're not going to use them, but I think they did want to run another play. So I don't know why they held on to them, but whatever. I guess they wanted to keep the 2 timeouts as like souvenirs. I don't know. 24-14, Denver leads. Really strong first half. The offense was great throughout. The defense was great for 15 minutes and then kind of sputtered out late. No highlights because there's no highlights to give. This is the first game of the week. But the important matchups to watch for us are the Bills and New England. I would be very surprised if Buffalo lost, but the Bills are the number 1 seed, the only teams currently ahead of us and the Ravens. We certainly need the Chiefs to lose, but they're playing the one team in the AFC worse than New England in Cleveland. The Raiders play Washington. Again, I like the Raiders' chances there. Why do the teams we need to lose all play against sucky teams? Like, can't they play against someone good? Can't they play against each other so we know one of them is going to lose? Well, I think that's just more fuel to the fire that we've got to control our own fate. We've got to take care of business. We've got to beat what's in front of us, and that currently is the Ravens. Overall, a really good first half, even though, again, the defense kind of sputtered out late. We have dominated time of possession, though. We've had the ball for 15 minutes and 37 seconds. They've had it for 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Bo Nix is 24 for 33, 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a full game stat line. Lamar Jackson, meanwhile, has only thrown 12 passes. I think we need to run the ball better, even though Henderson had the 62-yarder. He has 9 carries for 12 yards otherwise. And then defensively, they're starting to really stretch the field vertically. We've got to stop the deep passing game and not let guys like Andrews, Bateman, and certainly Flowers get open deep as Mark Andrews breaks a tackle past the 50 to the 40 for a gain of 24. Mark Andrews has been the big play threat. Maybe not the guy you'd expect to be getting these 20, 30-yard gains, but here we are. He's getting open deep. He's making great plays after the catch. 1st and 20 following a penalty. It's Michael Williams in the backfield with the sack. I believe he is now at 10 on the year. Hit double digits as a rookie. Had a lot less last year. He's a little bit banged up, but I think he'll be able to return to the game pretty soon. 3rd and 23 now for the Ravens. Lamar looks to throw it downfield. Boink! Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Savon Revel. He should have caught that one. Should have been an interception. But the Ravens got a little lucky there. Nonetheless, that's a great start to the second half for us to force the stop, keep it at a double-digit lead, but we're going to have a 3-and-out of our own as Bo Nix misfires for Harold Fannin. So that'll lead to a Denver punt. Ravens get it back with another chance to make it a 1-score game. 2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line with the rookie backup tight end Luke Haas out of Arkansas in motion. Lamar under pressure. He is sacked. The spin move by B.J. Ojulari is too much to overcome. What a rep on the left tackle, Anthony Belton. First-round pick back in Season 1 out of NC State, as it is 3rd down and 14 now for the Ravens. Lamar alone in the backfield with Keaton Mitchell lined as a receiver. Now he's going to block. Lamar looking downfield with a strike for Rashad Bateman. Surtain has been awesome on Zay Flowers, who's been non-existent, but Bateman and Mark Andrews have both had huge games so far for the Ravens. 1st and 10 out the 44. Mandrews is in motion. Lamar looks to throw it again. He'll go short. There's Zay Flowers. Speak of the devil. He gets it to the 24, wrapped up by Benjamin Morrison. A nice play there by the Ravens. Their offense, again, is back in business. Zay Flowers is in the zone. As it's 2nd and 7 over halfway through the third quarter. Flowers will switch from the right side to the left, lining behind Andrews. As Lamar drops back, looks to throw it up the middle. Another first down. They are moving it at will. That was Tez Walker in his 4th year out of North Carolina with the catch. The Ravens now have it at the 13 with a chance to make it a one-score game. Lamar with a strike up the middle. It's Mark Andrews. His 2nd touchdown of the game. The Broncos were once up by 17. Now we're only up by 3. The Ravens offense really struggled early, but they've been playing catch-up over their last few drives. They still got to get some stops, but their defense is playing better. Bo Nix on first down, under a little pressure. He's intercepted! Calvin Simpson-Hunt, the rookie! Nothing but green grass ahead! He's in for a pick 6! And the Ravens take the lead! At this time in the second quarter, the Broncos were up by 3 possessions. The Ravens have scored 28 points over the last 10 minutes. Their offense showed no signs of life early, and now they have come alive with a defensive touchdown by their first-round draft pick to put themselves ahead. An 11-minute run for the Ravens where they've outscored the Broncos 28-7. Whaley on the return outruns most of the kickoff team to the 43. The offense has got to be better, though. Our first 4 drives, we scored 24 points. Over our last 3, we've scored 0. Big-time throw up the middle. Nice catch by Tez Johnson. We're running a little short-handed at receiver. Obviously no Marvin Mims. But Christian Horn and Ryan Williams both have not played since the first quarter. Neither of them are hurt, so I really have no idea what the deal is. As Henderson gets a first down, wrapped up in the red zone by his former Ohio State teammate Arvell Reese. A lot of Buckeyes in this game. As this first down will not count. Francis Malinoa called for a hold, and it's a 2nd and 17. Malinoa and Rasheed Walker each have multiple holding penalties on them tonight. Bo Nix looks to throw it, backs up deep, steps up in the pocket and looks to scramble with it. An impressive gain of around 8. That'll make up the yardage from the penalty, but we're still looking at a 3rd and 9, and it's not like a field goal would give us the lead. Granted, we are still in the third quarter. As Nix goes play action, under pressure, tries to outrun the defender, breaks the sack, and somehow gets the first down. Tackled at the 16 by Reese. What a play by Bo Nix, showing off the wheels twice there. It's an RPO screen. Savion Williams gets a block, and he's in. Savion Williams puts Denver back ahead. An impressive game for Bo Nix continues. He's now thrown 4 touchdowns. What a block after the catch as well by Chris Brazzell. He's improved so much this year as a blocker. Last 2 weeks, he's had a couple of big touchdown-producing blocks. And the Ravens are now down again. Lamar from the 23. Under pressure, he is sacked. Michael Williams, his 2nd of the game. He has really dominated his individual matchup with Roger Rosengarten, showing off the B.J. Raji dance moves, as it is a 2nd and 19 with Andrews and Flowers activated in the zone. Lamar looks to throw it. Interior pressure, gets to Andrews up the middle, breaks the tackle. He makes up the yardage from the sack. 5 catches, nearly 120 yards. And that'll wrap up an interesting third quarter. The Ravens bring the lead down from 10-3. They even had the lead at one point off of the pick 6 by the rookie Calvin Simpson-Hunt. As that brings us into the 4th, a big 3rd down and medium upcoming for the Ravens. 3rd and 7 to be exact, with Keaton Mitchell in the game at running back. It looks like a design screen for Mitchell, and this play is blown up. Drew Sanders, the White Broncos, speeds off the highway into the lane as it's a loss of 3 for Mitchell. Denver back with the ball and the lead, as on 2nd and 9, Nix gets it to Fannin, breaks the tackle, gets the first down to the 41. Our offense is starting to get that mojo back. We started the game hot, then we went cold. Now we're starting to heat up again. 2nd and 9, Nix up the middle, he's got Brazzell. That one goes for a first down to the 42. With Ryan Williams out for whatever reason, and obviously no Marvin Mims, Brazzell's been the go-to number 1 receiver. Nix breaks the initial tackle, but is still sacked. Sam Williams started the play, and Nick Scorton finishes him off. That'll lead to a Bronco punt. The Ravens get it back. 6:51 in the 4th, trailing by 3. This game looked like a blowout early, and now it's turned into one of the best games of the year between 2 Super Bowl contenders. Lamar looking deep. He's got an open Mark Andrews. They've ran that play 3 times, and it's been a major success every time. We've got to be prepared for Andrews on the deep crosser. Under 6 minutes to go, now at the 46. Lamar Jackson is joined by C.J. Donaldson in the backfield. Walker in motion. Lamar scrambles under pressure. He evades the first hit, but is brought down. Drew Sanders is tickling him. It's an odd celebration. Sanders finishes off the initial hit by Baron Browning. 2nd and 11. Wide open is Tez Walker fighting for yardage, and he's able to get the first down to the 33-yard line. Chains continue to move. All Baltimore would need to tie is a field goal, with Zay Flowers moving from left to right. Lamar looks to throw it halfway through the 4th. Risky throw. It is caught by Malik Elzy, the rookie out of Illinois. Could have been intercepted by Sanders, and then he ran into the corner. Elzy gets the first down. Ravens now in the red zone at the 15. 2nd and 6, under 4 minutes to play. The big fella, Donaldson, gets it, breaks a tackle. He gets the first to the 6, wrapped up by the rookie Damon Clowney, who has missed much of the last month or two with an injury. Good to have him back in the lineup. 1st and goal now. Lamar looks to throw it. Rolls to the right. Looks to scramble. Boom! That's out! And Lamar quickly recovers. A heads-up play by Lamar Jackson on the fumble. Jeffrey Bossa is the one with the big hit, as it is a 2nd and goal. That play could have gone a lot worse for the Ravens. Lamar looks short. He's got Andrews, and we've got a flag. Big hit by Michael Williams, who was in coverage for God knows what reason. Holding call on the Ravens. Hey, what goes around comes around. Roger Rosengarten, he's been needing to hold Michael Williams all day, the way that matchup has gone. Now he's matched up with Nick Benito. That's not much easier. As Lamar looks to throw it, another flag runs up the middle, and he is decked again. Drew Sanders with a big hit. I think this one's going to come back even more, though. Another holding, again on Roger Rosengarten. We're obviously going to take the yardage here. I'd rather them have a 2nd and goal at the 26 than a 3rd and goal at the 3. Luke Haas is in motion. 2.5 minutes to play now. The Ravens have kind of dominated time of possession here in the second half as Lamar evades the pressure. Somehow still up. Breaks the tackle. Fumbles it again. And the Ravens pick it up. Mr. President, a second Jeffrey Bossa forced fumble has hit the quarterback. Good job by the Ravens to quickly scoop them both up as they go read option on 3rd down. And Lamar gets 2. He's wrapped up by Marvin Grant. That is a really perplexing decision. With 2 Lamar fumbles in the span of 3 plays, I'm a little surprised they would give him the ball again. On a 3rd and long, no less, when the deep passing game has been their strength. But the 28-yard field goal from Justin Tutcher is good, and the Ravens tie it at 31. Maybe the biggest drive of the season upcoming for Bo Nix and the offense. Show the world why you're an MVP candidate. Show the world why you can lead Denver to a Super Bowl. Show the world why you deserve a multi-$100 million extension. As he has Brazel up the middle, now over 300 passing yards on the game from the 33. Nix scrambles to the right. Looks like he's going to run with it, and he's got plenty of space. Past the 50, untouched, out of bounds at the 45. And remember, all we would need is a field goal to take the lead here. We've got our timeouts. We've still got 79 seconds. We're in a good spot right now. We just can't do something stupid. So it's okay to go short a little bit as Zamir White gets 2. Zamir White, by the way, is the only running back in the game right now. Trevion Henderson and Harrison Whaley both suffered nagging injuries on the last drive. So it's going to be kind of hard to run the ball if we want to because we have 1 running back. Fannin gets the first down. Rasheed Walker is banged up. He already has not had a very good game to begin with. Now we have to use a timeout, which is fine. We probably would have anyway. White up the middle, gets 1. Now that we're at like the 35, 34, we are in no rush with the clock. 2nd and 9 now at the 34. Bo Nix looks to throw it. He's just going to go short for White, who is close to the first down marker. It's a gain of 6, and that'll lead to a 3rd and 3. If we get the first down here, we can firmly control the clock for the rest of the game and not give the Ravens the ball back. Bo rolls out to the right, under pressure. He's got Tez Johnson, who rolls the wrong way, doesn't get the first down, and we have to call a timeout because Quinn Miners is hurt. What an unlucky play. Why did Tez Johnson roll backwards? I don't get that at all. 4th and inches, we are maybe 6 inches away from the first down. But we are not going to go for it. It is too risky. With a tie game here, we trust Will Lutz to get this, and we trust our defense to hold. 41-yard field goal is good. I know that's a little bit against my philosophy as someone who likes to go for it on fourth down, but the consequences of not getting it far outweigh the potential reward. I trust our defense to get a stop. I know they've been up and down today. As Lamar goes up the middle, Malik Elzy gets around 13. And the Ravens already have to use their last timeout. I think they should have started the drive by looking deep or maybe looking for the sidelines. Now they kind of have to do that now without any timeouts left as Lamar rolls out under pressure. He is sacked! The rookie, Damon Clowney, brings him down, and this clock is firing away. Tick, 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 tick. 15 seconds to go. Lamar will throw it away, so at the very least, that'll stop the clock. Justin Tugger is warming up on the sideline. If anyone's going to make a super long kick, it probably would be him, as it's a 3rd and 13 from the 37. Denver already playing prevent defense, only rushing 3, as Andrews gets into the 46, and they're going to have enough time for 1, maybe 2 more plays if they so choose. They could also kick a 63-yard field goal, but for now, they will not. I wouldn't hate the idea of trying to get 10 yards to the sideline and then kicking, but it seems like they're going to go for the end zone. This could be the final play of the game. Lamar backs up at around the 43. Hit as he throws incomplete, and there's still a second left. If I was them, I'd kick the field goal. The likelihood of making a 63-yarder is higher than connecting on the Hail Mary, especially when you have Justin Tucker, who, unlike real life, is not washed. And maybe like real life, he's an alleged assaulter. I don't know. Final play of the game. Lamar on the run. He will get it there. Tip, incomplete! And the Broncos hang on to win it here on Thursday Night Football. 34-31 over the Ravens in an instant classic. One of the best overall football games of the year, of this series. 2 AFC heavyweights who I would not be surprised if they meet again in the postseason. And if they finish with the same record, which they both are now, 10-5, that meeting would be in Denver now that we have taken the tiebreaker from them, beating them head-to-head. This was kind of a weird game because early it looked like it was going to be a blowout. 15 minutes in, we had 17 points. They had 0 first downs, let alone points. They couldn't move the ball. But the offense got going towards the end of the first half. It carried over in the second half. They had the pick 6 by Calvin Simpson-Hunt, but I give us credit. We didn't panic. We had a really rough stretch there of about 10, 12 minutes where we were outscored 28-7. But we played smart, consistent football the rest of the way, got stops when we needed to, got scores when we needed to. Bo Nix was really solid. 325 yards, 73% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. I don't think the interception was that bad. I think that was a really good play by the rookie. Overall, a really good game from him. And Lamar was fantastic as well. 318 yards, 70% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. These guys have been 2 of the better quarterbacks in the NFL this year, and it showed today. The run game was not great, other than the 62-yarder by Henderson, although Bo Nix did a really good job as a scrambler, and Harrison Whaley played well too. Lamar, of course, had the 2 fumbles. The Ravens lucky to hang on to those. Mark Andrews was a beast. For us, it was about spreading the ball around. 8 catches for Brazel, 7 for Fannin, 6 for Tez Johnson. I don't know what the deal with Ryan Williams was. He was not injured. He just was not in the game. It was really weird. But hopefully that's not an issue going forward. The offensive line, I thought, was not great. Their offensive line was worse, though. They really struggled up front. Michael Williams was great. Drew Sanders made some plays. And, of course, the 2 forced fumbles, which could have been catastrophic, by Bossa. Will Lutz made all of his kicks, including the 41-yarder, to take the lead late. We had a lot of guys get banged up on offense, both of the guards, both of our running backs. I don't know what happened with all the receivers. We only have 1 injury, though. Quinn Minor's torn abdominal. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have Maui Noah kick inside to guard, and then Tree Babalade, the first-round pick out of South Carolina, who hasn't really played much this year. I think he's good enough to start. He will start at tackle. Marvin Mims is supposed to come back next week. Now, that's what we said when he got injured earlier this year, and he ended up missing another 2 games. So I don't want to guarantee it, but we're expecting him to return for our upcoming matchup against the Chiefs. Looking around the league, the Patriots nearly beat the Bills, but unfortunately they don't. The Browns nearly beat the Chiefs, but unfortunately they don't. The Bills and the Chiefs didn't cover, but they won. The Raiders do lose, though, to Washington. Thank you for your service, Jaden Daniels. As for your players of the week, a couple of guys who played in our game. Bryce Young, Bo Nix, Damani Jackson, and Calvin Simpson-Hunt. Bo Nix, by the way, has climbed a little bit in the MVP race after his great game, going from number 8 up to number 6. Lamar Jackson, by the way, is in first. Jalen Daniels, interestingly, has fallen all the way to 7. It has really changed since we've played guys like Daniels and Burrow. Jordan Love was up to 3rd. He was like at the bottom of the list, then played well against us, and I guess that has carried over. With 2 weeks left to go, we've got the Chiefs and then the Browns. If we win this game against Kansas City, we pretty much win the division, our first division title of the series, because we'd be guaranteed to finish ahead of the Chiefs, and then assuming we don't lose out and the Raiders don't win out, we would take the division. So there is a lot at stake here in Week 17 at Arrowhead. You know the Chiefs are looking for revenge. We beat them a few weeks ago. We beat them last year in Arrowhead. And if there's anyone who plays well angry, it's number 15 on Kansas City. Hope you guys enjoyed. Really fun game today. That was an awesome matchup between two great teams. And dare I say, two great quarterbacks. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.